Right, hello everyone, welcome to Nhrl's Racing Division 2, round 18 of the championship. We're in the United States in the circuit of the Americas. Land of the freaks and the home of the mentally unstable. Hope everyone's having a pretty good day. I've personally had a bit of a few rough weeks. I know I'm in some racing trying to cheer us up. I guess big talk, league-wise. I just want to say thanks for H. Collins for turning up on Sunday for the what edition was it? 4th edition of the league's Indianapolis 500, and it was a very close call between myself and him. But I think I wouldn't even say it down to experience. He really should have won it, but it was one that did go to me in the end. And whenever that does happen again, I just hope he does try. Maybe a bit more practice would do him good, and I'm going to want to take the time out now. Sign-ups are open for next season for Div 1 and Div 2 for Season 7. Season expected to start in the end of February, just about. Sign-ups are also open at the minute on our Tuesday Championships. World Endurance Championship yet to start. Seats open in LMP1 and GT3. Just a 5-race calendar, but it does include a drive around Le Mans, which will contribute to Nhrl's Triple Crown Award, open to literally anybody if that fancies your time. A little bit of money and a trophy up for grabs as well if that's not tempting enough. I'm on board with third by Gamer though, back to Div 2. I've been putting in quite a bit of practice by the sounds of some other drivers, and not the best start to his Nhrl career after Japan last week, but it wasn't exactly his fault. It was a pretty, I don't want to say spectacular, but it was a unusual crash, being caught up with Pep Harvey, who unfortunately can't make it today, being called into work at the last second. And pole time I'm expecting from Div 2 at least a 1:31. If anyone doesn't set a 1:31 something today, then people will be getting retested. At this point we kind of have to, because we're trying to get ready for the next season. That's a 34.5, that's very good in terms of the midfield, but Ellie doing quite well with the 1:31.4. Let's have a look. Fred, see where he goes on the medium tyres. This could be a good time. P2 for a medium time, that's not half bad. Fred's already got quite some pace ready to go. F96, P5. Mediums, I can imagine it was just a little bit of probably a mistake somewhere, as one of the Hasses has come across the line. It might have been invalid. It was Bradley, Ron Border James, closing stages of his lap. Very tentative on the throttle. Wouldn't really expect anything less from someone who is using no traction. Mateo, back after a short absence, goes provisional pole with a 1:32.8. Come Davey 35.8 on mediums. A little bit of time left on the table. Dan Patoldi making his debut today in Williams. Puts it P2. That's a really good job, fresh out of the box as well. I'm going to head on board with one of the Ferraris. Surround all of the championship leader, and if any times do come in on the board, I'll just call them out. Yeah, a little bit of talk in Discord as well, whether Ferrari can actually get the constructors today. They have a 114-point lead, but not enough as of yet to mathematically clinch it over Aston Martin. It's going to at least go into next week for Mexico, maybe even a push at Brazil if Reese and Luke drive their hearts out. Having said that, we've had crazier things happen, especially toward the end of the season. I think the championship leaders get a little bit too cocky, start making mistakes, thinking they've got a bit of a buffer to fall on. Then come the final race, they're the ones actually behind. It's happened at least in Season 3 and 4, and Season 5 for Division 2 as well. Championship leaders all the way through the season, they just lost it. Just the consistency weren't there after USA, so a little bit of a milestone in any of our seasons when we come to Kota. It's just kind of where you put your friendships down and get on with the job. As solo though, it's a little bit too much of the track limits. That would have been 32.9. They still would have put him behind Matteo. I think himself would have known that wouldn't have been a fantastic lap. Play still struggling to negotiate turn 18. Collins not yet set a time, coming out on the mediums. This point, mate, you are expected to be in the top 10, whether it will be on this lap or not. P8, not too bad. Now, if you know you're going to be out of the top 10, then at least someone take a fresh set of soft tyres for the race. F96 invalid. Is that Bradley behind? Bradley about to set a time. And that is 36.4. Time left on the table easily. I'm going to run and ball with him, see if I can give him any tips later, because I've got a feeling he's lifting too much in the S's. Yeah, quite a momentum loss there. And there. Wide. It wasn't an atrocious lap from Bradley, it's just, he keeps leaving quite a bit of time on the table. Where's F1 Antics? He's still going, still pushing. I think anyway, DRS is open, ERS in use. That's encouraging. Purple sector 1. 2, sorry. Now I have to look at comments later, by the way, because my phone's on charge right now. Probably for the race, I'll just have it on my side or something. Penultimate corner, keeps it on the track. Drive out the final corner. Oh, he's lost it. Does he still set the time? He does. He improves by 3 attempts. Is very lucky to still be in qualifying. I was expecting a tyre to get ripped off there. I've seen people be, well, they've suffered a lot more for so much less. So Antics, consider yourself lucky, and it's very unfortunate because I think he lost at least half a second probably, and that would where would half a second put him? We'll be putting him on the second row. Devastated really. F1 Antics, if you're watching or if anyone's passed a message on, he does have the pace to go pole, I think, so just kind of do it. Right, Cops, what are you doing? Coming in? Not wanting to set a time just yet? Oh no, I don't think he can if that was invalid. Someone's come around the final corner, that is Aston, no, not an Aston, Alpha Tauri, I think that was third. I think the aero's set up okay on the Aston, but the front end looks a bit tight and the back end looks quite twitchy on corner exit. There's P3. For medium time, that's quite fantastic. Who'll be the next car on the lap? Red invalid. Don't think third is actually on a push lap. There's no battery left. Hello people. I'm just going to stick with Callum Davey. Oh, for God's sake, man. Commentator's cursing, I barely just got to you. Let's go just round with the Alpine. You guys, if any of you watching and you're also racing, just let me know what your logic is behind starting on the medium tyre. Firstly, I don't think it makes much difference, even if it's a early safety car. The soft runners can stay out. I know the softs in race trim can go 14 laps. If you qualify and you're starting on the softs, at most 10 laps. But a fresh set of mediums will either go 16 to 18, I think. But because they'll start feeling horrible, I wouldn't put it past anyone if for a two-stop. And hard tyres are not recommended. If there's any drama like safety car by lap 4, then the hards will go to the end. However, you will be on average 2 seconds off the pace, so it's hardly even worth it. And I know Cota's not the easiest track to overtake on either. Alright, head back down with Callum, see if he is on the lap again. I think he is. I hope he had enough fuel in his car. Just didn't get the turn right in that part of the S's, but still pushing. Looks very tight. Whether it's quick or not, we'll have to wait for the sector split. I like your helmet though, Callum. Give me a better camera angle game, come on. .2 up, he's gone purple. I think people need to be quite afraid. That would be potentially a low 34. Even though that he's pushing for a top 5, but it's on the soft tyre, so it could go even quicker. Might even be a front row start. Just seen that. I don't know if I mentioned already, but Fred up in P2. That's a very impressive lap from the Red Bull driver. But can Callum better it? No, but it's a very good lap nonetheless. P4, 33.4. What about the start of lap? Were any of the Red Bull Williams about to come around? Dan was just on a recharge lap. What about Reese? No? Who's that in the first sector? Was that third? We're on the third then, see if we can improve. Not long left in quali though, so Ferraris really need to pull the finger out. Unless they're choosing to start at the back of the grid. I would say it's a tactical disadvantage, but it really isn't. Oh, go down at third. Alright. I guess this is kind of what Reese would want, but definitely not what Ferrari want. They're struggling to keep the cars on track. I'd love to know if their setups are adequate enough or not. Collins invalid. Would have been a 4/10 improvement. I knew he's got pace. I'm going to ride on board with him because I do think he can improve, and I'd need to see some improvement on a personal level. Also, one of the reasons why Cota's our test track definitely separates the amateurs from the professionals, and it's a place where the amateurs can learn the racecraft really quickly. Exit at turn 9 seemed to be quite difficult. I didn't think it would be, since it's just a flat out kink. I know Cota's not everyone's track. F1 really pushing the track limits. That's how you get away with being invalidated. This is one lap that F1 does not want to invalidate. It is his home Grand Prix, the young American. Like, we already know he's got the pace, it's just can he hang on to the car through the final sector? Traffic kindly moving out of the way. He's basically got a clear track now until the finish. I beg he keeps it on the track. Small chance of redemption maybe. Let's see if he can shoot himself up the order. That's better. Where's it going to go? P3. Front of the second row. Still a couple of attempts off pole. And if Matteo's gone this bloody quick, I'm questioning, one, what has he smoked? And two, who's hacked his account? I'm gonna keep on board with Matteo actually. See if there is any improvement coming into the third sector. Yeah, there is. There's still time. Right, I've just seen the Ferrari start a lap, so I'll ride and bundle with them as soon as the Williams has finished its lap. That's qualifying over. Is he gonna... Oh, mate. Mate, you could have absolutely smashed that. Right, Ferraris. Solar as invalid. Carp's still going. At this point, Solar's going to be at the back of the grid. And perfect for Reese and Aston Martin. The gap difference between Reese and Solar is just over a race win. So Solar might be getting a little bit comfortable, but just a reminder, one DNF and the gap would be about 4 points between himself and Reese. As Reese goes pole with the 32.4, however Carps has just been given a tow by his teammate. No one beating the 131s though. I'm finding that quite surprising. Unless if my head's still in Kota mode from pre-patch. So remember the cars used to go a lot quicker around Kota. The Carps might have gone a bit deep into the penultimate corner. Is it 2? No, it's going to be a 33. It's P5, 33.2. That's it. Pole position for Reese. Yet for Ellie to retire the car in the pit lane. Ellie actually in a very strong position if she would want to start on the soft tyres. There we go. Little bit of an ego massage there for Reese. It's P1 for the Aston Martin driver, taking 2 points for pole position for the drivers and the constructor. Matteo out of nowhere, P2 for the Williams, and Fred the Red P3 for Red Bull. I have to say there's a hell of a lot of people out of position, but Solar being back of the grid, maybe he's had some experience of clearing the traffic when he turned up last minute for Division 1 last week. I hope he can put that to good use, because he's really not in a position to be relinquishing any points here today. Setups being minorly altered, fuel loads being decided, the strategies being discussed. Yeah, you might be saying the mediums are a better race tyre, and I do agree, but I don't agree with it for the start of the race. I know softs can fall away quite quickly, but for me, anyway, there's not a lot of difference between the soft and the mediums. See what everyone's starting on anyway. Don't choose mediums, SE players choosing mediums. Already people being DQ'd. Full grid rundown then. Reese pole position, Aston Martin getting the points pole for the team, and himself, Matteo P2 in Williams. A very, very good drive coming out of nowhere. I wonder if he's done anything to his setup. Featherhead P3 in the Red Bull ahead of his teammate today is having his home Grand Prix F1 antics in the sister Red Bull. Starting P4, I'm pretty sure a podium for him would do very nicely. Carps P5, current Constructors Champions leader, but not the best of qualifying for Ferrari today. They really need to put the finger out. Fortunately, all the pressure's been left on Reese today for Aston Martin to claw back any points deficit. James Killer, the sole McLaren at the moment, P6, currently trying to keep McLaren competitive to secure P3 in the Constructors. Dan Patoldi making debut in Williams, starting P7 today, ahead of Callum Davey P8 in the Alfa Romeo. He's ahead of Collins P9 in the Mercedes, and rounding out the top 10, SC5 plays P10 for Haas, but considering it's a debut drive, not a bad job at all. Some points of the debut would be very nice as well. Ellie starting P11 for Alpine. Soft tyres, very strong position to attack off the start of the grid. Third game in P12 in the AlphaTauri, choosing to start the mediums ahead of Bradley Ellis. P13 in the sister Haas, currently also starting on the softs. I'm rounding out the grid. Solar, I have no idea what went on, but if you get to a podium, mate, it means we've seen something. We would have seen something today. Alright, go wait for Solo to round out, lining up on the grid. As the rest of them take position. Lights are on. Sat and away they go. No jump starts. Very fortunate. It was a pretty good drive out of the way from the Ferrari, but nowhere to go as the Red Bull start to cover him off. Reese with a hell of a launch as well. No one challenging him into the first corner. Callum Davey trying to squeeze the McLaren on the outside as the Williams has been spanned. Collins making contact with Dan, and Bradley Ellis going around as well. Yeah, that would be Dan. I have no idea what happened there. It just happened a bit too quickly for me to process. Sola's gone round in the S's. Oh no, that was Carp, sorry. Sola moving up to P10. Ellie seemed to be letting them by. Collins suffering as well. Mercedes with surely quite a bit of damage. Fred jumping Matteo up into P2. James making one position up. I think Collins has gone round again. I'm going to try on board with some racing instead of incidents. Yeah, quite a hectic first lap, but it was quite an uncalled for one. So James always within touching distance of the podium if you're within the top 5, regardless of who your competition is, but F1 is no pushover. The only threat to F1 would be himself. You got to think, are any of these guys in front going to start dropping back? Yellow flag as Ferrari around again. I think that is Carps. It's definitely a setup issue down at Ferrari. Car not suited to the track. I can only assume that Sola's having similar problems. But it seems to be making light work of the midfield so far. They're in third. I think quite a few warnings if I go to look at the race director. But if there's going to be any race decided on penalties, it probably is going to be Kota. I don't blame anyone if they get penalties either. I know it can be quite difficult. Yeah, flag again. I need to see what's going on with Carps. I don't know whether it's a tyre issue. That's definitely going to be a diffuser issue. I had Solar going around last week in Japan. I've got Carps going around at USA. Well, if it helps, we do have Mexico next week, which is slightly better in terms of difficulty anyway. I know that Mexico's middle sector is, I'd say it's more difficult than Cota's, but Mexico is not a difficult track to get set up on. DRS enabled, might see some positions being made in the midfield. Looks like James Killer's going to need it. James has more battery than the Red Bull. Solo clearing the house. And he's going to have another go at challenging the AlphaTauri. Dirty air is going to be an absolute nightmare. And just like Division 1, we've got pyrotechnics going up on the curbs. Fernandez 3-second penalty, Callum with 3-second as well. SCPI plays with the penalty 2. Just a bit of overtake. The AlphaTauri is nothing. See if she can send it. No, just runs out of track. We'll keep an eye on those. They make their way around to the main straight. Callum putting James under pressure again. I think Atlantics is under enough pressure already. On board James actually is very close to Atlantics. We're going to be made down the inside. Atlantics still there. Has to tuck behind him though. It doesn't try and go for moving the S's. It doesn't. Quite sensible of Antics. He's getting his lines very well. James not so much. It's almost like Antics is aiming for a line that he can't even take because he had the car in front. And the inevitable penalties all start flying in right now. We'll see if Atlantics has any fight back on the McLaren. He's also trying to fend off the Alfa Romeo with Callum behind. Well, Solar's there as well. This is going to be interesting. I don't know, Pressure James. You've only got 3 cars that might overtake you by the end of the straight. Callum Davies and all the track and more. Is he going to try and send a move on F1 Antics? I think he's got it. Good drive, Callum. Runs a little bit wide for the corner. F1 Antics with the position back. I did see a little lift there from the Ferrari. It won't be a downforce related issue for them, it'll be either a geometry or a suspension issue. Surely an easy move here for Callum. Atlantics with the drive though is like slowing, but he's able to go really fast out, but he's not doing it at the right time. He's lost the position. Might need a little bit more than just DRS to get back in front of Callum and hold that position. See if the championship leader has anything to say about this little fight. Carp's going very slowly. I wish I could give him some advice, but I have no idea. VSC, no overtake's going to be made then. Let's see what's happened with him. Front wing has gone, probably around the penultimate corner and lost it into the barrier. Carps, if you are listening, maybe go on the mediums if you've not already selected them. And right on cue, they are waiting for him. I still hope he doesn't get lapped though. I think an actual safety car will do him the world of good. Right, green flag racing again. We'll keep the position. Gonna stay on board with Collins for the time being. DRS enabled immediately after a VSC, and Collins could make easy work of Bradley. Right, quite tentative from both drivers. That was a look tap. And then to the inside, good job. Not really anything to fight with. Solo with a penalty. That move's done there from Collins, so head back up to the midfield fight. Nice. Very nice. I have to get further down now each time. Ellie's challenging this midfield too. I knew the midfield were going to be close. But Reese is loving life out at front, knowing that he's going to be lapping a Ferrari potentially quite soon. Well, F1's trying to fight Solar. Trying to push him wide. Maybe it's not too wide. So's there, dives it down the inside. Is he going to get the car stopped in time though? Only just. So they all hang on through the cars through 17 and 18. Technically only 2 corners. The 180 degree right hander. Yeah, triple apex but only 2 corners. Oh dear! That was a mistake. I've seen worse, but I've also seen a lot better attempts. Ooh. Hoping Place doesn't have any damage either. Don't know why. I'm happy that they're still in the points. Might speak to you soon. I hope Ellie is okay. Oh, front. Sorry, Matteo and Fred coming to blows. Gonna play a game of who can finish behind the Aston Martin first. At the minute, it's advantage Red Bull. Fred's got some ridiculous pace around here. And Callum, first in the pits. I knew the pit window was going to be open by about lap 8. It's definitely time for the soft runners to start thinking about when they're going to come in. James and F1 though. Subside through the first corner. James ahead by a nose. F1 with plenty of time to think of a counter attack, but didn't really have any answer. VSC, I did see Ellie stop at the pit entry, and she's retarding the pit lane. Woman, you need to keep pushing. Like, points on offer. I'm surprised that it is only VSCs, unless We've not had any major DNFs. At least when Dan retired, the car was in the runoff area, or it kind of scraped its way into the runoff area. Double check biggest winners and losers while we're here. Solo up 11 places. Collins might need retesting if he's getting penalties beyond a VSC. And Fred down 5, but he has just made a pit stop. S5 plays drive through for speeding under the VSC. Is that anyone else? No, just a handful of 3-second penalties. At least if they all get them, then the penalties cancel each other out. F9 takes him for his box. What tyres is he going to go on to? Surely the mediums. No? Another set of softs? Hey, at this rate you might as well like go softs to the end. Or yeah, as long as you don't mind absolutely wrecking them tyres, you clear for the mediums to the end, mate. Solo's still fighting the rear end, obviously suspension issues down at Ferrari. So James is doing a fantastic job keeping the McLaren in P4. Third isn't too far behind. Quite a good drive from someone who made the debut just last week. And third will be able to stay out for a lot longer because I think he's the only person in the top 5 that is actually on the mediums. So when they all box, I'd expect him to stay out. Reese is in. Surely Matteo is going to come in. No, Matteo's going again. So is Solar. James, what are you doing? Going again? Definitely no more than lap 10 though. Otherwise those tyres are done. They are so done. Third fastest lap, 135.8. Hugely impressive. Probably will be beaten later on in the Grand Prix. Matteo is leading the race. What scenes are we seeing? I think that's impressed me more than Solar coming from the back of the grid. But I think his time is going to be cut short in the lead. Solar easy within overtaking range and DRS. Is he going to go defensive? He does, and he covers him off. Solar playing it very, very cautiously, I think, because he knows what's on the line. It's probably going to help Reese up a bit as well. Come pit stop time for the Ferrari. Oh, Collins is out. Oh, this could really work in their favour if that's the safety car. What's happened anyway? Let's have a look at Bradley. No, it's just lost it, pulled off the side. It's not really in a dangerous part. I'm surprised that wasn't the safety car though. As Matteo comes into the box, Solar push it again. 11 laps on those softs. Double check they are. 11 laps. 10 laps. 11 laps by the end. Houston mediums, Callum mediums. All these guys in, if they're not careful, they're going to come out behind the Haas. Yeah, they all do. Medium runners can still go for quite a few more laps for now, as F1 Antics has forced his way past the Ferrari, Williams, sorry. It's not all over for Antics though, surrounded by people that have got penalties. Might end up on the podium. On personal level, I hope he does. On professional level, you've got to earn it. So Matteo will be in DRS range. Is there enough battery left in the Williams? There's still specking. You think putting the screen there is a good idea. Plenty of battery. Not so much for Antics, but it might be all he needs. Is Antics going to go defensive? No, he's left the door open. Oh. If you're not rubbing, you're not racing, but then there's whacking each other. Antics has won that round. Go back down with James. I see Matteo desperately trying to stay within DRS range of the Red Bull, but you might just have him until those soft tyres start falling away. Trying to think who to watch. Carp's not that far behind Bradley. One more DNF and it will be double points finish for Ferrari. Be at 1 point, but it might be all they need. Closing down the gap a little bit, so something is going right somewhere. Solar finally boxes. Fred will retake, or he'll take the lead for the time being. Surely Fred's not been going. Yeah, picked quite early, Fred did. I think give it a little bit more time. Carps has finally decided his Ferrari is not worthy of finishing the race. Full on safety car right now, so anyone who's just made the pit stops, this is good news for you. Also good news for Bradley Ellis, is still going to be in P10 and not a lap down. Is this really going to open up any strategies though? I know a set of mediums could go to the end. Whether they'd want to or not. Softs. They'd be pushing it. I think the softs can, but they'd be really pushing it. And if anyone's thinking about going on to the hards at this point, then just please hand yourself into Broadmoor. Guys, come on, it's safety car. How are you getting penalties? I would say Fred's in a comfortable position, but I would say I don't think he is, but choosing to box. Does Reese box as well? Thinking about it. Staying out. Cheap pit stop for Fred as well. Mediums going on. Fresh mediums ahead of everyone. These guys may need to pit toward the end. Don't know. Don't know if there's going to be any more safety cars. Luckily, for the sake of these guys in Div 2, top 10 get points regardless, so you can have more DNFs from now, but everyone in the top 10 you see will be scoring points regardless of what happens. as they all catch up, I am just going to leave for a quick toilet break. Apologies on the absence, but looks like we're just about ready to go. I think Bradley has made another pit stop. Double check the tyres. Should all be on the mediums, I think. Oh no. Atlantics, like, did you not have any fresh mediums left? Well, you wouldn't have done, you did so many laps on them in quali, didn't you? Players playing with a little bit of a gamble. Any penalties could let them down. There's not that many. Positions still to be gained from this. So Haas could end up, well, regardless, they're going to double score in the home Grand Prix. James Killer, as long as he can stay with these top 5, podium basically guaranteed. But they seem to be proving quite difficult, so definitely don't go anywhere. Safety car pulls away. Reese will lead them through the final sector. There's a little bunching up of the field as he's gone. Pretty good getaway. It's a good getaway as well from James. And Antics as well staying with the McLaren. Is Antics going to send it? He's there. James may run himself out of track, but he's going to run out of traction. Atlantic, that he really wants that podium, but he's on track. He's going to at least have to get P3. See, Callum is using everything. Reese is also no DRS for the time being. I'd have thought Callum might have just waited for a couple of laps. He's already trying to have a crack at it. He's not afraid to fight Reese. He's a little bit buried, don't really know what to do. He's just wondering where the hell's this Alfa Romeo come from that's got a 6-second penalty. How dare he fight me for a win? How dare you go racing with each other? As the traction gives out on the Aston Martin, the Ferrari, with suspension issues, is also behind. I thought Reese would have sent it on the Williams there. Yeah, they've got battery to use, but Solo's got more in his store. I don't think he's desperately going to try and make a move. There are moves being made at the back. Third being overtaken by SC5. So much for a drive going to the S's, but knows that the track changes direction and can't make the move. James clearing Fred as well. It's weird, I thought those mediums would have lasted on him for a lot longer. Now here's two. Top two in the championship. Points deficit currently favours the Ferrari. But I think Solo, I honestly doubt Solo will finish on the podium, unfortunately. Just based on penalties. Callum basically commanding this lead. DRS enabled once again. I'm going to see it until they get about halfway around the track. Third choosing to box. Not sure what that's for. Mediums? No damage, unless those softs were really struggling. Oh god. Sorry, I need to go back on Solo. Also pay attention to Fred because he's also challenging James for P6. You see the Papaya orange McLaren behind under threat. As SC5 Plays is also caught up to that fight as well. I think Reese has lost it on traction again. So I don't think that was a defensive move. As F1 Antics now trying to find a way past the Aston. He's gone very deep. Around the outside maybe. Will banging again. Callum with another 3-second penalty. Race leader will be lucky to finish on the podium at this rate. Little left from the McLaren as well, don't really blame him. There's Dimple James, F1 Antics not going for a move on the Aston. Plays with another penalty. It's not the end of the world though, but it might be the end of the world for Matteo. He's spanning the S's. It's P2 down the drain. 3-second penalty may benefit him later in the race, but I'm not 100%. Even Bradley is taking advantage of that. Moves up into P8 with Matteo down to 9th. Oh my, what's happened down here? Fred? Reese? What? I think Fred's just gone for a spin before the straight, and Reese's tractions gave out again. I don't think Reese will be all that worried. He's still got to keep the 6-second solo. Oh, and also find a way to clear the McLaren. Someone's in. Is that Callum? Yeah, he was in, but he didn't show that he was coming in. Whatever he does, easy soft stint to the end. C5 diving around the outside of Reese. Those softs have got plenty of life left in them still. He's thinking, who the hell's this Haas? And for the record, Reese, the Haas did not push her off track. I don't want to see that in instance later. I think someone else has gone off there. That's Matteo again, taking out the marker board. Very generously distributing polystyrene all over the circuit. James P3. James is literally on for a race win here. You wouldn't think the person using no traction is the person who's keeping hold of the traction the most. As long as that gap to the top two don't increase any more than it has. I do expect James not to get a penalty, and I hope Solar doesn't get any more. Eze could end up with a podium as well. Yes, he could. Reese is still in contention. If any one of these guys get a podium, then it could be a podium for the Haas on the debut. I want to see how this man comes back from this. Probably thought he had it in the bag. Bet he didn't expect this come the closing stages of the race. So Matteo making moves, so it's just Bradley in the pit lane. Bradley maybe opting for soft tyres. No, well, just a fresher set. Let's have another look. Yeah, those soft medium runners at the safety car should be able to make it to the end. And if James, if he could put any pressure on Solar, he'd need to do it now. Because that 6-second deficit is slowly running away from him lap after lap. No, James. Can mediums really not make it? Be a bit worried for Solar. Probably be a little bit worried about Reese as well. There's no reason those mediums couldn't have gone to the end. Yeah, sorry for a bit of quiet, but just a bit lost for words. Seems the DRS open. Should be easily done before the corner. And it is. thought that James could still win this race has fascinated me. He's going to have to see what these guys up at front do, because those mediums, on paper, can go to the end. It just depends if they do. If not, it'd be nice if he gets on the podium, but he's still going to have to claw back at least 15 seconds. The amount of laps left, I'm not too sure. I think he's just given away track position. Oh, Atlantic struggling on traction. He's forcing the Haas to go off the track. For a 3-second penalty. Yeah, that P5 is definitely going to be gone. Atlantic's going defensive. Reese trying to make a move on the Haas. Haas doesn't look like it's defending much. Atlantic's going off the track. Haas thought. Did think about it. Oh. Missed the braking point a little. Alright, main straight DRS. Dear James. Right, sorry, I'm gonna have to send him another invite. I'll be gutted for him if this is the way how it's going to end. So, fastest lap. It's like a battle at the back of the grid for the fastest lap. I love it. That many laps left, and unless if Solo's had another penalty, so win maybe in the bag. Something tells me it's just not. Oh no, it's like an 8-second gap, but we should be able to keep pushing. Look at the tyres again if we can. Oh. Nah, Solo might have actually pulled a blinder and he's not even realised it. Let's have a look at the back. I'm really gutted for Matteo as well. Podium could have been. It'd be made up into P9. Should have DRS as well, and he does. Finally, James is back in the car. Still in contention for a podium, but it's going to be quite difficult from now. Maybe the softs have got a little bit of life left in them. These bots are can clarify the chat. Yeah, sorry for the lack of commentary, but I don't really know what to say apart from just focusing on the fight for the podium. As if I may have just saved the tyres enough. To be fair, compared to the mediums, they're about at the same performance. They've done really, really well though, like regardless of how far the penalties dropped down, to be P4 at this point on track, it's fantastic. GS again, maybe for the Haas, should be. Maybe, definitely not for Reese. Oh, sorry. I think Reese has just got enough battery and track to hold it off. Finally, a 3-second penalty. Like the most exciting thing I've seen since the Haas opened its rear wing. Right, final tour of the track though. Really is looking like advantage to Solar, extending the championship lead again. And F1 Antics should also secure P3. You knew the person it could have been would have been James, but I think he's a bit more than 6 seconds back from. Yeah, he's 7 seconds back from one Red Bull, let alone the other. Callum 3 second. Let's have a look at Fred, because I swear Fred's got quite a few. Yep. 9. James might get P4. Might. If the McLaren drives the wheels off. Hopefully not literally. Saw one Williams drive the wheels off already at the start of the race. That might be looked into, not too sure. Up to them if they want to report it. Don't want to say anything too soon as this man comes around in the final sector. But by the looks of it, no quali lap, no problem. Different practice did him well last week. He's going to come across the final corner. He's going to take the win at the Circuit of the Americas. Really, really good job, Solar. F1 Antics, will he keep the podium at his home race? Reese P2 inevitably, where does Plays finish? F1 Antics P3. See if James, just to make sure if James doesn't benefit, P5. F1 Antics podium at his home Grand Prix. Really, really good job. I think Callum's just happy to finish the race. Third done a really good job as well, P8. Mateo, I don't know what happened, man. Really want to try and retire in the pit lane, or just, I don't know. Right, come across the line anyway. Just going to wait for Bradley to round the final corner. Easily drive the day. Back of the grid to P1. Can't really complain. Wonder how Reese is going to feel though. It's not like Ferrari need any more points than they already have. Matteo does keep the fastest lap. Oh dear. It's expected, but I really wasn't expecting that many. Right, full race run down then. Sola extending his championship lead, winning the race. Reese, it's another P2. I don't know what more you can do, man, unless if you're hoping for a mistake from the Ferrari. But F1 Antics, P3 is home Grand Prix. Fantastic job for the Red Bull driver. SC5 plays in the debut, P4 for Haas. Fantastic drive. James Killer lagged out till the end, did join back, but P5 from McLaren, very good points in the bag, keeping McLaren secure for P3. Fred the Red P6 for Red Bull. Callum Davey, again, it's a drive that could have been better. I'm not really sure what went wrong apart from the 18 seconds worth of penalties. P7 for the Alfa Romeo driver, third by game, getting points on the board in Div 2 again. P8 for the AlphaTauri driver, Matteo, nice to see you back again. P9 for Williams and Bradley Ellis, rounding out the points. P10 for Haas. Non-finishers were Carps, P11, H Collins, 12th for Ellie, P13, and Dan Petroldi being taken out at the start of the race, P14 for Williams, unfortunately. Right, I'm going to get them in because I'm excited for this one. Today. Oops, there we go. Right, they're being added. We're a bit quiet.
Oh, sorry, I was just keeping it professional. Before I'd let you start the questions before I made my...
Oh, just waiting on F1 Antics, I think. Unless it's already here and I don't know. Antics?
Don't think so. What did you think? Good watch?
It was alright. The start was actually quite incredible from a lot of people.
Yeah, I can believe it.
I guess it would be a very good race if you weren't an NHRL regular, but then as soon as Carp spinned it, that was it. Well, until F1 Antics does get it, I am going to get onto this. Race P2, I don't really know what to comment on apart from what seemed to be letting you down. Were you struggling on traction? Because you were darting left and right.
Yeah.
They didn't look like
no
defensive
traction
moves.
control.
Is this like the first time or something?
Second. Japan was first. Still trying to iron out the mistakes, but it was better today. It was just when my tyres got old, I struggled on the entry of the back straight. I lost it like twice. I had to catch it, but Yeah, I'm quite happy with P2 overall.
I guess the all important question: do you feel any quicker for it?
Yeah, 100%. Way quicker. I think
Oh dear, this is making me feel slow.
Probably about 6-7 tenths quicker in quali, I'd say, than I am with medium.
I don't know how people cope with it, to be honest. I've been practicing for about 4 or 5 games now, and I still can't get the hang of it.
It is much easier on the PS5 controller than it is on the PS4. Don't really know how to explain it. It just feels a bit more kind of responsive, I suppose.
Right, to be competitive in league racing, from what I've just taken from that statement, we need money. Everyone get jobs.
Yeah.
Apart from that, like, I bet you're disappointed considering how well you were doing, but result P2, you have lost ground again, but still proving you're competitive.
I mean, I got 20 points overall, including the pole, so it's not a bad day at the office.
Yeah, definitely take that with you. I forgot about your extra 2 points. Gonna move on to Athletics. You here, bud?
Yeah, sorry. Didn't get an invite.
Double check your voices on share, mate, because I don't recall you're up here that often.
I should be.
We'll find out.
1 second.
That's about 5 seconds. Has he died or is he still here?
I think he's just lagging. Maybe just do blue and then come back.
Double check. Or is he at who's in the party? Antics, come on man, mic check.
Okay, looks like I am, sorry.
Yeah. P3, home race. Your thoughts, Release? Take us through how that went for you. I'm actually ecstatic for you.
It's a pretty good feeling. Just yeah, big also big credit to my new teammate. He had a great first stint. Just like when I got off the line, like I had a good start. I got boxed in, and kind of like went down the order from there. I had like absolutely no grip, and I was just all over the place. Second stint, I got my act together. Started like reeling in safety car, pitted for hards, and just carried that to the end. I was expecting to catch blue, but like obviously like he didn't lose much pace towards the end, so I'm happy with the podium.
I think considering what you went through in the race and quali, I don't know if you were one of the people. Did these safety cars catch you off guard at all?
The VSCs were kind of a pain, but like it kind of like was a minute to like just calm down and like think what you could do next.
And your thoughts moving into next week for Mexico?
I think my form's good. Like last week in Japan, I had good form. Just unfortunately, I didn't make the podium. So this week, I was a bit off the pace, like in time trial and like race simulations. But happy with the surprise. Happy with the podium. And I think going to next week, just a bit more practice, and I should be fine at the top again.
Yeah, you were saying, man, you're definitely improving, and keep it up. Fingers crossed you might end up with a win. Double checking the weather for Mexico. It is looking dry, so yay. I'm going to move on to solo, if you're here.
I am.
You're starting to think that this title's wrapped up? You think you might be able to get it done before Jeddah?
No.
I don't really know what to say. Like, what? Yeah, I'll let you continue. I'm sorry.
Reese's pace, it's definitely up there. If he can sort out a little bit of consistency with not losing traction, but he is new to no traction. If he can get that down, he's going to be winning races in the last few races.
Yeah, I think from a sporting point of view, it's very exciting to watch, but I hope we don't have a repeat of, I think it was season 4, where the drivers left it a bit too late to do this sort of thing, winning races, but it just wasn't enough. But where's your head at in these final few races? Ferrari almost confirmed constructors, but where's your head at?
To be honest, it's a bit all over the place, as in these next few races I've got everything to lose. If I make one mistake, that's it. I could lose everything.
Yep, you're definitely not wrong. But in terms of the calendar, Mexico next, pretty much
like
confirmed
Mexico.
dry.
I like Mexico. It's a nice track.
Yeah, it's alright. It's a decent track.
Plenty of overtaking opportunities down into turn 1.
Nothing wrong.
Yeah, I'm expecting it to be quite a close race for the whole field. Anyone got any final words before I wrap things up?
I just want to say that it's amazing to share the podium with my former teammate.
Same here.
And me, of course.
Reese, I share the podium with you so much this season.
Yeah, to be
Yeah,
fair,
it's
I'm
just
sure
kind of
it's point.
therapy at this point. Right, congratulations, you lot. Nhrl activity for next week. Division 1 head to the Mexican Grand Prix tomorrow. Tune in as a potential champion could be decided in favour of Cameron Dowd's driving for Mercedes. And like I said, Division 2 heading to Mexico next week, so that's definitely not one to miss. And I just want to repeat myself as well for the sign up off within the next week or two. Seats open in LMP1 and GT3, and we've got Le Mans, so that will contribute to the Triple Crown. That's everything from me. We'll see you guys next week in Mexico.